this river. So, nagkakaroon pa kami na ng mangrove reforestation because we really want to plant a lot of trees and flowers around the city because this help us maintain the cleanliness of the air. Now we are also a Hall of Famer already in the Red Orchid Award. No, the Red Orchid Award is given by the Department of Health, and they use the red orchid as a symbol of clean air because that kind of orchid will never bear flowers if the air is not clean. That's why it was used by the Department of Health as a symbol of clean air. It's the Red Orchid Award, and we are already a Hall of Famer in that category. And we want to put more parks around, and we are even fixing the old plazas so that people can just spend a little time there. This is for mental health. Now we are turning left here, and as we turn left, you will see here University of the Philippines, Visayas. So this is the first UP campus outside Luzon after World War II. Why is it that I specifically said after World War II? Because there was UP Cebu earlier, and then they closed it down, and after World War II, they opened UP Visayas or the UP Iloilo. Now just imagine that complex used to be our city hall. And you can just imagine how important UP was for us, or the educational institution, how important it is for us, that we even donated the City Hall complex so that UP can enter Iloilo. And the funny story is they donated the complex to UP, and then later on they just rented out an old building. But today we have constructed already a modern City Hall building. We will be passing by there also. By the way, don't be confused when you say Ilonggo, that is not our dialect. Pag sinabi mong Ilonggo, it refers to the person. But our dialect is called Hiligaynon. Hiligaynon, yes. It was considered before as a merchant dialect because it was only spoken within the city before. When you go out to the city, they speak another dialect which is called Kinaraya. And the mother actually of the Hiligaynon is the Kinaraya. Now later on, I'll tell you the story kung bakit nagkaroon ng Hiligaynon despite the fact that this whole island generally used to speak Kinaraya. So we are turning left here, and you will see coming up to your right is the University of the Philippines, Visayas.
University of the Philippines, Visayas.
So this is not General Luna Street. This is known as the University Belt because before UP you have the John B. Lacson Foundation Maritime University, the only maritime university in Asia. And you have the University of the Philippines, and then coming up later on is University of San Agustin. Now, the lowest elevation of our city is less than 2 meters above sea level. Kaya kung minsan, even if there's no typhoon, we will have flooding in the city before, because during high tide, especially if it is a 2.0 tide, then the salt water would go inside the city. So but we were able to solve that one. I'll show you how we did it. Now try to notice our streets. They are relatively cleaner compared to other cities because we have a regular assigned person to clean the street here. And if you see basura, you just take a picture, post it in the Facebook page of the City Hall, and then they will call the attention of the in-charge. They will know who's in charge there. Now as we go up here in this flyover, I want you to take notice of the esplanade to your left. This is still the continuation of the esplanade there.
Nice. Ganda.
Ayan po, ay Iloilo local.
Yeah.
And to your right, look at this street. This is more than 1 kilometer. The street to your right,
Very
and that is
nice.
10 feet deep.
10 feet deep.
That is a giant cistern, a water catchment.
Wow.
During rainy days, the water will be collected there, and then later on it will be pumped out to the river. Then the university that you see here to your right, this is University of San Agustin. This
San
is the
Agustin.
only Augustinian university in Asia. You'll never find another University of San Agustin. Only here
University
in
of
Iloilo.
San Agustin.
Well, you have San Agustin in other parts of the Philippines like Manila, maybe in your provinces you also have, but it's only Colegio de San Agustin, Colegio.
Very
Yes,
nice.
What we have here is the
City.
University of San
Iloilo
Agustin,
City.
the only Augustinian university in Asia, and they are very, very famous in the College of Medical Technology, the College of Law also.
Nice.
They're very, very famous for that.
College.
University of San Agustin.
They said this is one of the more peaceful university. Well, because in front of it is the prison.
The prison.
This is the Iloilo prison, the city police office. So the students there behave properly, or else they will be sent to the prison.
Only family.
I have a little joke here. It's a little bit mature joke. But anyway, mature naman tayo lahat dito.
Yes.
Are you aware that all the schools in the Philippines, public schools, no? High schools and elementary, they are all translated to Tagalog? Like the Jose Rizal Elementary School. Ngayon, mababang paaralan ng Jose Rizal, di ba? Bonifacio High School. This is now mataas na paaralan ng Bonifacio. Tama?
Yes.
Meron kaming school dito that should never be translated to English. It's the Iloilo Central Elementary School. It should remain in English.
Why?
It should not be translated to Filipino. Because if you translate it, magiging Paaralang Elementarya ng Iloilo Central. So the acronym would be PENIS. Gusto niyo ba yun? Gusto niyo ba yung mga nag-graduate doon? So, I'm talking of the school here to your right. Which is
To your right,
remains
to
in
your right.
English. And the school here to your left, this is Assumption Iloilo.
Oh,
And
Assumption
I'm really
Iloilo.
proud to share with you that I graduated my elementary school here as an
Nice.
outstanding student.
Wow, congratulations.
I was always sent outside to stand.
Joke,
Oo naman.
Sharing with you
Oo naman.
the
Paborito ko ng mga battery dyan dati.
of our group.
This is the St. Paul's Hospital.
Pilgrimage group.
And adjacent to it is the St. Paul University.
Oh,
This is the
so
second
kabilang-
campus of
kabilang
St. Paul in the Philippines to
alley.
become university.
University
I think that
St.
the first
Paul,
one is in
Iloilo.
Pampanga. And this is the second campus.
Tour Iloilo
Now,
City,
to your
guys.
left there, you see a
Left.
big building.
Yes.
That's the office of our governor.
Ah,
That's the new
Iloilo
building.
Provincial Capital.
But the original governor, defensor. But the original building built in 1901 by the Americans is this one. This lower building. So it's much smaller. So we have to build another
Bahay
building.
panlalawigan ng Iloilo.
That was built in 1901. And the fountain here that you see to your left,
Oh,
that
nice.
serves as the 0-kilometer point of reference.
Oh.
We call it Arroyo Fountain because
Royal
it's
Fountain.
dedicated to
Fountain,
the
Arroyo.
former Senator Jose Maria Arroyo.
Jose Maria.
Now we have an YMCA here to your left,
YMCA.
1928. But before this became YMCA, this was Iloilo Mission Hospital, built by the Americans in the early
Hospital
1900s.
siya dati.
And they started to train local nurses there. Eventually, that became the first school for nursing in the Philippines.
Dami mang first?
Yes po, yes po. Mayabang, masyadong mayabang ang tugay niyo. Now, look to your right.
Sir, right.
What's that?
Right.
Oh, bola-bola din na yung iba. Look to your right, you will see there SM.
SM.
Yes, SM, small mall.
Parang hypermart.
But I am happy to share with you that is SM number 4 in the Philippines. Or the first SM outside Metro Manila.
The
Again,
first SM?
the first SM outside Metro Manila. Kasi dating SM Carriedo, Cubao, and Makati lang.
Pang-apat yung Iloilo.
Pang-apat.
Pang-apat ang
Pang-apat.
Iloilo.
And that's the only SM that was franchised.
Franchise.
How is that now?
Ano na, SM management na. But
plus
when
a
they came
franchise.
here in the
Franchise.
1980s, it was franchised by the Luzuriaga, mga
Ayun.
sendero yun.
Storyaga.
So they franchised it. But after 25 years, it
Ang
was...
ganda guys. Ang dami kong
given back
nalalaman
to SM
sa kay
management.
Kuya.
Now, imagine this is now the old downtown area, which was started in the late 1700s.
Oh.
But try to notice the streets here.
Here.
It's a 4-lane street.
4-lane street.
We're just very lucky that the
4 lane.
Spaniards did not design our city. This was designed by the British.
British.
So since Iloilo that time was already a premier city, imagine mas malaki pa kami sa Manila. Kasi Manila that time in the 1800s was just the Intramuros. When you say Manila City, it was just the Intramuros. So this is already an open city.
Oh.
And the obelisk here that you see coming up to your right, meron dyan na. This
the
is
right.
called the Plazoleta Guy, or a small plaza dedicated to the last colonial mayor of Iloilo, Vicente Guy. And we are now entering a very special street for us. This is now the Calle Real. Ganyan, sa wala ka lang ha. Tapos hinahinay lang. Sa wala lang left. So left ka stay. Look at the buildings to your right here. These are Art Deco buildings and these are pre-war buildings.
Pre-war building.
These were patterned after European cities. Pre-war buildings. Kami
building
na lang
na
sa
yan.
Pilipinas ang merong ganyan.
Oh.
Kasi during the war, the Americans flattened all the major cities in the Philippines. Because the Japanese will not surrender. So they flattened all the cities. But kami dito, we were able to warn the Americans that there were no more Japanese in the city. So they spared us from the carpet bombings. That's why we were able to preserve the pre-war buildings here. Coming up to your right in this corner is a baby blue building that used to be the Washington International Hotel.
Right.
We already have a 3-story building here in the early 1900s because we have more foreign firms and embassies than Manila before World War II. So marami na kami mga foreign firms dito because the business started here in the 1700s. Now look at this store. You have Rose Pharmacy there. And I want you to look at the date established. Now you can see that on
Rose
top sa
Pharmacy.
corner. In the corner you'll see there, established in the corner.
Saan?
It was established in
Corner.
1877. So ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the first department store in the Philippines. Bakit department store? Kasi sila yung pinakaunang nag-implement ng fixed price.
Fixed price. Walang tawad.
Walang tawad. And look at this building to your right. This is a 1928 movie house. Can you imagine 1928? We already have a movie house here.
Yung poste niya.
1928. And another movie house there, but the building was renovated already. That used to be the Eagle Theater. And it's now offices now. But the Eagle there is original. That's bronze. That's made of bronze. And the building here to your left,
Oh, nice
this is
building.
Elizalde building.
ganda.
This is to be the Enchausti house.
Oh.
Sila na naman ang gumagawa ng, siyempre inabutan na natin, gumamit kayo dati ng Eco Floor Wax.
Yes.
Yan, sila ang maker. Plus the Tando Ay
Ang
also.
ganda.
Still may tanduay pa tayo
Old
ngayon.
Yes,
building, old house.
Diyan sa tuo ka lang tapos punta.
Parang sa
After sa
vegan.
Now look at this
parang
BPI.
vegan.
You see their BPI?
Yes po.
Yeah, BPI.
But the original BPI is to your left.
Oh, where?
What's the original site of the BPI? When
Original site.
BPI was first called Banco Estas de las Filipinas.
Oh, yun yung Plaza Libertad.
The first branch of the Banco Espanyol in the Philippines And that is now considered as bank
Oh, look at the
number
tree.
1 of the BPI.
The body of the tree.
Plaza Libertad.
Now,
Plaza
here
Libertad.
to your left, this is Plaza Libertad.
Oh.
This is where the Spaniards surrendered to the Filipinos.
Oh.
I'll bring you back later
Cool.
on to your Philippine history and
History.
give you a short quiz after.
Yes.
But this used to be called Plaza Alfonso.
Plaza
Alfonso.
Alfonso.
Yes. But in 1898, the Spaniards left Manila after they surrendered to the Americans and they sailed to Iloilo. Actually sailed back to Iloilo. And they surrendered to the Filipinos here. That's why we are claiming that the real independence of the Philippines happened here in Iloilo, not in Manila. Kasi doon sa Cavite, nag-surrender ang mga Espanyol sa mga Amerikano, not to Aguinaldo. Then they sailed back to Iloilo and they surrendered here to the Filipinos.
Yung jeepney nila ganyan.
Here in Plaza.
Yes, in the Plaza Libertad. That's why we call this the Plaza Libertad. Now look at the church there. That's
Yeah.
where that's a
yung
1700 church.
1700.
And that's where we accepted the gift of Santo Niño from Cebu.
Oh.
So in the 1960s,
Kaya pala meron yun.
early 1960s, the Cebu gave us the replica of the Santo Niño de Cebu. And we
May
invited
Santo
the
Niño.
dancers or the performers of Calibo to perform to celebrate the acceptance of the Santo Niño. Kasi the Calibo Ati-Atihan was already in existence that time. I think very early. Actually, Calibo is the oldest province in the Philippines, and they have already the devotion to the Santo Niño. So we invited them, so that the Ati-Atihan dancers of Calibo came here, and the year after that we imitated them. That's why we have the Iloilo Ati-Atihan, which is now known as the Dinagyang of Iloilo. Okay. Sa likod natin, that white building there, that you see, that is our City Hall building, the new building. Okay? That
The
is
white
fully
building.
air conditioned, and that is a green building, green architecture, meaning sumusunod siya sa mga standards ng green architecture, which is environment friendly. Malalaki ang windows because we have to allow lights to enter the building so that we can minimize the use of the bulbs. That building is fully air conditioned, and the air conditioning system is solar assisted.
Nice.
Plus meron siyang water catchment and water cistern because they can harvest the rain, put it in the cistern underground, and they use that to flush to the comfort room.
I see. Tipid.
So, very nice concept. Now, Jose Rizal has his back ang simbahan. Nakatalikod siya sa simbahan. And he is facing here. Bakit? Because Rizal was a Mason. And this building here to your right is the temple of the Mason. Mason is the oldest fraternity in the whole world. It's an international fraternity and it's the oldest in the whole world. And Rizal was a Mason, so he's facing the temple instead of
Si
the
Rizal
church.
yun.
Oo, yeah.
Because he really hated the friars at
He
that
is
time.
facing us.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, bye. Plaza Libertad.
Now, may question ako sa inyo. Sino ba yung mama na lumalabas pag bare months lang?
Santa Claus?
Hindi, o si
Bare months,
Marichan.
wala pa eh. September pa na, sa Santa Claus wala pa eh.
Kapag pag-Burmans?
Oo.
Mama?
Oh, lalaki.
O si Marichan.
Si Marichan?
Oh, siya sa Marichan. I'll show you where he grew up. Now,
Plaza Libertad,
Taga-rito yan.
guys. Let's tour around Iloilo City.
Now we are entering now a street, we call this one the General U Street. And this is known as the first millionaire's village. Kasi pati sa likod dyan, ang mga bahay dati ng mga sendero na dito. So look at these houses, the remaining houses. These are Mediterranean inspired houses. And which were the houses of the hacienderos before. So wala pang Forbes Park noon, meron na kami millionaire's village.
First na naman ang Iloilo.
Kasi 1890 city na kami, so hindi kami ang oldest city.
1890s city na sila agad.
Ito mga
Very-
talaga.
And we have here a
Old.
school. This is Colegio del Sagrado Corazon de Jesus. This is the first school to offer hospitality management in the whole of Western Visayas. So mga madre naman dyan. Buti nang wala pang high school, no? Wala pang elementary school nung elementary ako. Or else dito din ako nag-aral. So kawawa ang assumption, doon ako nag-elementary kasi may lalaki doon. At hindi naman na mahiya yung nanay ko, naging outstanding student naman ako. Now, to your right,
To your
sa likod
right.
ng wall na yan, that's where Jose Marie Chan grew up.
Ito,
Wow.
Itong bahay na ito, yes.
Ang mayaman na siya noon.
So talagang ano na
Kasi
sila.
last
Well-
month,
wealthy
dumating
man.
yung kapatid niyang babae with her family. At we went to their house. And they were recalling their childhood in that house.
And what's this? Very old.
Oh, yan o, sira-sira na. Pero ang laki ha.
Parang mansion.
Now this is now on the way to the fort or the Fort San Pedro. This is not a port with a P, but it's a fort with an F. It's a
Fort.
It's to be a fortification.
Port.
Because in the 1700s we were harassed by the Dutch Navy.
Oh. That guy.
Your ancestors were harassing us. And sometime in the 1700s we were actually colonized by the Dutch. Iloilo City
Like
only.
Indonesia.
But after 16 months they left without apparent reason. But they found a Dutch diary, a Dutch Navy diary, with a drawing of the fortification and a burning cross. So they said most probably they had an apparition that they got so scared that they left Iloilo without
this is sea.
apparent reason after
Oh,
conquering
dagat
it.
na.
So sabi namin, sayang. Our lolas were not able to mingle with the Dutch. So today we don't even have a drop of the Dutch blood because they left so suddenly. Now, punta ka na dyan. Now, the island that you see there in front of us, to your right side, that is already Guimaras Island. Yes. And that is the home of the sweetest mangoes in the world.
Guimaras
Yes.
Island.
Tomorrow you'll be going there.
Yes.
And that is just as big as Singapore. That is 65,000 hectares. And they said that is the home of the sweetest mangoes. When you buy mangoes in Guimaras, you are 100% that mango came from Guimaras, because you can never bring in a single mango inside the island. But you can buy and take out mangoes from that island as much as you can. Now you have to practice, because I will invite you next year on May, because there is this mango eating contest. You just pay 100 pesos and then eat all you can. All of you, to break the record. Yes, the diabetic ones. And the standing record today, that's why you have to practice. One person was able to consume, by the way, 1 kilo, an average of 3 mangoes per 1 kilo. And the record right now is one person was able to finish 18 kilos of mangoes in 30 minutes. Buhay pa naman. There was a French national who came here and he wanted really to challenge that one. After eating 9 kilos, he collapsed because his sugar umakyat na. So, the standing record today is 18 kilos for one person in 30 minutes. Now, the reason why is it that their mangoes is so special, 3 main reasons. One, the mango tree needs a lot of sunlight. So if you see Guimaras, there are no mountains there, only hills. So from sunrise to sundown, the tree gets the sun, the sunlight. Okay? Number 2 is the quality of the soil. It's very rich in lime. So anything na maasim or citrus, the fruit, it contributes to the sweetness of the art, or it eliminates some sourness or of a sour fruit. Then the third reason is the sea breeze. Since it's surrounded by a body of seawater, the sea breeze there is salty. And salt actually adds to the sweetness of it. Like for example, if you buy a watermelon at natakot yung watermelon, namutla na, hindi siya matamis. Idildil mo sa asin, tumatamis siya. Kasi salt does something to our taste buds. No? That it will taste sweet a little bit. Okay? Now this is the Guimaras mangoes. The first mangoes accepted by the US. The first one to pass the USDA or the DA or the Department of Agricultural Standard. So there was a time, but I don't know up to now, if it is up to now, there was a time that only Guimaras mangoes were allowed in the White House. And my British guest said also in the Buckingham Palace. So we are sure that Queen Elizabeth died, but she was only eating Guimaras mangoes. Now the fortification here in front of us, it used to have walls and battery of cannons during the time. Again, because of the Dutch. And then sometime in the 1700s, we were overrun by the Dutch. And they left after 16 months. Now, the space here to your left, we are trying to negotiate actually with the people here to relocate them. Because we want to bring back the open space. Because this used to be an airport. In the 1930s, this was an airport operated by the Lopez brothers under Iloilo Negros Air Express. That was the height of the sugar industry. So mayayaman ang mga taga-Negros at taga-Iloilo noon. And the first commercial flight in the Philippines was flown here in 1933. The flight was between Iloilo and Bacolod. And you can just imagine the wives of the hacienderos. When they sit on the plane, they do not want to see people sitting by their row. When they look to their left or right, they don't want to see people sitting there. So they will pay for all the seats. Well, after all, they are hacienderos. They were sugar barons. So Philippine Airlines, boasting to be the first Asia's airline, started operating only in 1945. But they started in 1941, then resumed operation in 1945. But Inaek had been flying commercial flights here, but domestic commercial flights here since 1930. Now, I will talk about the Panay Ghost later on when we go to Garin Farm. Let's go.
Garin yung Department of Health. Di ba Garin?
Miss Nancy. Hi everyone.
Yeah, nakatuon talaga si Dr. Garin.